Welcome to the fourth and last session of Concepts Creative Talks, a series of virtual discussion on creativity and ingenuity in various fields and industries.
It would always start first with the ingredient, right? I mean, we can't cook good food without good ingredients. From there, I draw a triangle. First thing is, it will represent the three main ingredients that we will use in the recipe. And then we will overlap those three ingredients with a flavor profile. And then those ingredients that coincide with that flavor, we have to then create a procedure that would then amplify that particular ingredient to reach that particular flavor profile. But not one of the three is overwhelming, a point where on our palates, we find that it is perfectly balanced.
Sa non-alcoholic ko siguro, the most proudest thing that I created was horchata. The horchata manchado that I created for that concept is ano ba kay? Kasi parang inspiration ko dun is best of both worlds. During the time, ang topic namin is rice. I created 3 types of drinks made out of rice. So one of those is a smoothie, one of those is a horchata na cocktail. The other one naman is yung fermented rice. So, yun yung non-alcoholic naman na gusto. Pagdating naman sa cocktail, siguro one of the most na medyo is yung ritual ng agimat at saka anting-anting ni Malbar.
Graffiti and street art are really two different disciplines. When you say street art is generally any type of artwork na ginagawa mo sa labas, sa streets. Graffiti is about letters. To put things simply, graffiti is a form of typography done out in the streets.
I kept doing portrait, design, ganyan. And then na-burnout ako. Eventually, I started doing mga random strokes. And then parang na-realize ko, hours na pala ako nagdo-doodle ng mga random streaks. And then dun ko nalaman na, yan, na-enjoy ko siya. All throughout, natuwa lang ako sa challenge na palaki ng palaki yung canvas. And then nagiging wall. And then humahaba siya and tumata. And by sharing it, natuwa rin ako na dumadami rin yung may gusto ng art ko.
I'd always describe Filipino typography as warm, especially yung mga typefaces na ginagawa dito. Most of the time, there's always that handwritten element that comes in Filipino typefaces. But as I learn more and more about Filipino typefaces and how I see them, especially the ones in Type 63 na sinasubmit, that's when I learned na hindi naman lahat necessarily ganon. And the quality of it being warm is not inherently unique to Filipino type. Kasi a lot of Latin American typefaces are actually very warm as well.
It's a really long process. So, I think for you start, much better if you know na kung solid na yung idea mo bago ka mag-create. Kasi parang once na solid na yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan eh. You know your concept, from there, ayusin mo na lang along the way just to get it done.
May one word ako laging parang nasa isip pag sinabi yung Filipino typography, festive. And then kaya ko siya nasabing festive din kasi parang simula nung pre-colonial, yung mga ethnic tribes na may na sila parang may mga tattoo sa sila nagsusulat na rin sila so parang medyo calligraphy na rin yun. Tapos nag-evolve na so maraming influence yung yung pumasok.
I believe for you to be more vigilant, you have to be afraid of what's going on. Parang if you're not afraid, you are confident. Pero if you're afraid and if you're speaking up, then it breeds more vigilance.
Nothing will be truer than a person na para sa'yo, yung nanggaling talaga yung sa sarili mo, di ba? Kumbaga, paano mo mako-convince yung nakikinig sa'yo or nanonood sa'yo kung ikaw mismo hindi naniniwala or hindi 100% behind what you're trying to say, di ba?
Just because that this is your advocacy, you'll have to realize also that the world is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. And so you have to find the connections between people, issues, and things, etc. You can't talk about feminism without talking about queer rights. You can't talk about what you call as human rights without even understanding what's happening with the IDs. Anything that happens on, anything that's, for example, in all environmentalism means that you have to think about also what's happening in terms of corporate greed. I think everything is interconnected, and because of that everything's interconnected, that means everybody, all people are interconnected. So it really helps na to have empathy. Hindi mo pwede tingnan yung everyone as us versus them. And so you have to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to know what it's like on the other side. Don't speak for other people without knowing what it is, what they're they're going through. So I think if you want to be able to be part of the movement, to fight for your advocacy, you have to learn to listen. And not just the people that you're advocating for, you have to listen also to the people that you're going to go up against.